They come in silence, sometimes alone, sometimes in coordinated packs that move like shadows across the landscape. There is no warning, no schedule, just sudden, violent damage. And by the time you realize they've arrived, it's already too late. These aren't just pigs. They are feral tanks, thick-skinned, heavy-boned, and built to survive conditions most animals never could. Evolution has armed them with durability, cunning, and an instinct to adapt, and in Texas, as well as across much of the southern United States, wild boars have become more than a nuisance. They are an invasive force of destruction, ripping through farmland and leaving behind ruin that costs farmers and ranchers billions of dollars nationwide every single year. Crops are shredded, fields overturned, fences smashed, and livestock threatened. And for rural communities, the wild boar is no longer just another animal on the land, but a relentless adversary. In this episode, you're about to witness 40 raw, unfiltered wild boar takedowns. No filler, no staged dramatics, no slow-motion glorification, just clean, decisive shots captured in real time. The raw edge of survival where relentless reaction and split-second decisions are made in the heat of wild boar chaos. But behind every shot, there's a story, because these takedowns aren't about trophies or bragging rights. They're about control, about protecting farms, herds, and rural livelihoods from one of the most destructive invasive species in North America. Each frame shows more than the hit. It shows how these animals move, how they react, how they fight to survive. Wild boars are masters of adaptation, intelligent, opportunistic, and bold. With razor-sharp senses, they detect danger before most hunters even spot them. Their eyesight may be weak, but their sense of smell and hearing is almost uncanny. A biological radar system that warns them of even the faintest shift in the wind. A broken branch or a distant scent can alert an entire sounder to danger long before it arrives. You'll see it here. How they pivot at the slightest disturbance, how they freeze in perfect silence before bolting like shadows into the underbrush, and how dominant males, sometimes pushing well over 300 pounds, do not hesitate to charge if cornered. That's the reality of hunting them. For every takedown you see, there were long moments of careful tracking, patient waiting, and precise timing. Some hogs drop instantly, while others, especially the old scarred veterans of the wild, absorb shot after shot and push forward with terrifying determination before finally collapsing under sheer ballistic pressure. That's not about accuracy, that's about toughness. Boars are armored by nature, layered with thick fat, dense muscle, and a cartilage shield so tough that even a well-placed round may not stop them on the first hit. Hunters call it the shield, for a reason, a natural defense built through constant fighting, rooting, and survival, and it's why these animals can take punishment that would drop almost anything else in the wild. And yet, time after time, this video proves one thing: skill, patience, and sharp eyes still win the day. From wide-open clearings under the blazing Texas sun to tangled, messy trails where visibility drops to near zero, every frame shows just how high-stakes wild boar control really is. This is not just hunting, it's land defense, because wild boars don't just eat crops, they devastate ecosystems. Their rooting tears up soil structures, destroys seedlings, and allows erosion to strip the land bare. They consume ground nesting, bird eggs, compete with native wildlife, and spread diseases that can wipe out livestock herds. A sounder of hogs moving through farmland isn't just a nuisance. It's a rolling ecological disaster. And the numbers are staggering. A single sow can produce 2 litters per year, often with 6 or more piglets each time. And when you multiply that across millions of hogs already roaming more than 35 states, you get a population explosion with no natural breaks. They breed faster than they can be hunted, faster than they can be trapped, and faster than they can be managed by conventional means, which is why states like Texas have resorted to helicopters, night vision drone hunts, and full-scale eradication programs. And still, the boars keep coming. Every takedown you see here is part of that larger battle, where hunters become land defenders and rifles become tools of survival. Because without human intervention, the boar population would not just grow, it would double, triple, and eventually overwhelm agriculture in entire regions. And make no mistake, these hunts are not easy. Wild boars think, plan, and remember. They learn quickly to avoid traps, vehicles, and hunters. They memorize safe routes and feeding grounds, and some have been known to double back on their own tracks, circling behind their pursuers. They are survivors in the truest sense of the word. But here, you'll see what happens when preparation meets persistence. Every shot you'll watch is earned long nights of tracking, days of waiting, wind, distance, and movement calculated in seconds, because when the boars finally emerge, the margin for error is razor thin. One wrong move, one misstep, and they're gone into the brush, or worse, charging directly at the hunter. This is the line between control and chaos. As you watch these 40 takedowns, keep that in mind. Every flash of movement in the grass, every shape emerging from the tree line, every crack of a rifle in the night, it's more than just action. It's the front line of a struggle that farmers, hunters, and rural communities have been fighting for decades. And in the end, this is not about glory.
If you'll enjoy this video, please like and subscribe my channel for more information.